Hello. I haven't done this for a while. One moment. Cool. So what I'm doing at the moment is I am working on a React game built with React.js and MobX. This is a working title. So essentially, yeah, we're using MobX state tree to model the state of the front-end application, and then using that state and React to render the game. There's a very simple Elixir app right now which generates puzzles, and right now I am just running through fixing the unit tests. This isn't sort of like episode 0. I'm going to do something sort of more involved later on once I get all the tests fixed. So this is sort of just a test because I haven't streamed in a while. So without further ado, let's go. So right now my application is not actually rendering. I've just done quite a big refactor and rebased on top of something. So it's a bit of a mess right now. That's why this is sort of just a trial stream, and we'll do a proper one later on. Cool. Okay, so basically I've got quite a few failing tests. I suppose the first thing is actually getting it to compile before we even start trying to fix the tests. You can see down here I've turned this like key press thing on, so you can see sort of what I do in Vim, because Vim's cool, and I don't know, maybe find something cool in there. How's that? Don't think that file is supposed to be there. Cool, so the first failure is the app.js line 6. So if we go to line 6, so 68, not 6. Okay, so y is undefined. Alright, so I realized that I had a 2-dimensional array, and in my code I was treating x as y and y as x, and from a display perspective it's pretty much can't tell, but yeah, it can lead to some weirdness when you're sort of debugging issues, so I just changed that around. Okay, so the first test here, I will go through like what how the project works and like an overview, but I'm just going to try and fix tests in the moment. Okay, so it's basically this pressed property. I think I might have renamed this. Seems like an easy enough fix, so let's open up the state. Oh, that's getting in my way. I wonder if I can put it like here or something. Alright, so the failure is on line 73. If cell pressed, return false. So I guess what I've done is I've renamed, oops, I've renamed the cell pressed. I haven't. So maybe cell is undefined. What does it say? Yeah, it is undefined. Yeah, of course. So I'm guessing the issue, yeah. So I've tried to get away from using X and Y and tried to focus on using a new sort of value object, which is a combination of the two, which I'm calling position. Okay, so the cell, get position, get last selection. So we'll look at the getUp function. Oop. Okay. Number of undefined puzzle 90. Puzzle test 90. Okay, so const expect at so I'm just going to create a temporary helper here, so because this is going to get quite convoluted. So if we pass in the puzzle plus the x and the y, we can do puzzle. We can create a position. Right. Then we can do cell is puzzle.get at let's see if I can change the size. Maybe that will make it a little easier to navigate. Okay, that's manageable, right? Okay. And then cell. Woo. Okay, so I'm going to do a multi change in them. So number at change that. Okay, so I passed that there. So state puzzle 103 I think is interesting. So this is the reason why I don't want any of this stuff. Just pass in the position directly. Okay. Puzzle 77. Yep, doing some more positional stuff. That's fixed for each available. For each available cell. Okay. for each available, just a naming issue. Okay, cells with positions. Okay, so sorry. So that looks. I've defined a getter. But it looks like that it's actually not getting treated as a getter. Okay. Okay, so our unit test is just expecting the cell to be first instead of the position, but that's fine, I believe. Puzzle. One test failure. And now so that is the state puzzle line number 28. Undefined is not a function for each available cell. Interesting. I think this is a really interesting error, in fact. When you use ES6, pardon me. So it has a type error, right? So it's trying to do not pattern matching in JavaScript, was it destructuring on this argument here. So this argument needs to be an array for the destructor to work. But we've now changed that to a position. Okay, so for each available cell, we simply return the position. Okay. So the puzzle test 66. We're asserting available positions. We filter out the pressed cells. So if we create a puzzle of size 2, two-dimensional array, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4 is pressed. MobX is going to take those numbers and just basically create a new cell with a number for the default values. So that's sort of shorthand for creating a cell each time. So by default, these cells are pressed false. Okay. So the good thing is that we have asserted that the number of available positions once you've pressed one of them is 3. So that looks promising. Right. So this is odd. Expect it to be an array. X, Y, X, Y. We can just log what the available positions look like here. To JSON is necessary for MobX. No, it's not. Oh, right. It's because we need to map the AP. Okay. So we've got an X. So we've got 0, 0, 0, 1, and 1, 0. So everything looks fine. And I think that the reason why, it's really odd. Oh, it's just a bracket in the wrong place. No. Let's extract this out so it's easier to see. So the positions, the available positions, and then we map each one. I wonder if ES6 is doing some weird thing here. No, so this is correct. So interesting. Oops, what did I do? 68. So positions is exactly what we think it is. So 0, 0. Zero, 1. These are just grid positions, of course. Oh, nice. This test is redundant. The assertion's redundant. Okay, so we create a puzzle, we click on one, and make sure that it's all like that. Cool. Sweet. Okay, so in app.js, got some warnings. Line 23. Okay, so if we don't have a puzzle, instead of modifying the state here, we want to set, we'll just set puzzle. So this, we can't manipulate the state directly, similar to Redux, unless we're doing it within a MobX action. So that shouldn't pass. And we are missing a test here, obviously. So this dot state. I'm just going to comment that out. We should always fix that later. Okay. Okay. Puzzles not defined. And all right. So we now this isn't going to work. How did I know? State game.i is not a constructor. Oh, I keep doing that. Oh dear. I'm used to creating objects in Node.js or something. Stateful object oriented, and in MobX you don't create. You don't use the new operator. You use the dot create. Just trying to see if I've got an example here. Nope. Inside the index, you'll see. Yeah. So Sound Manager is okay. This is an external library. And essentially, we're just going to pass a reference to that library for managing sound. It doesn't need to be immutable, because we're just going to fire events at it and get it to make sounds. So yeah, so you can't do new game if game is a MobX model. You've got to do game.create. I don't know if this is going to pass. Ooh. Okay, so an error like this happens when you have some seed data. So you can see, like, right now, I'll show you the backend app actually. So this is the backend app, which is a Phoenix application. And I've got this acceptance test. So I map over chapters, and so I call the chapter generator, map over the chapters and over each puzzle, and then I print each puzzle so you can see, like, just got this output. This is basically, these puzzles are my starting puzzles. So you got, like, I can't remember, like 5 chapters, and each one's got like 3 puzzles, and they ascend in difficulty. As you can see, start off by 3 by 3, nice and small, easy. Get slightly more difficult, and then once the player gets past this, I'm going to add some more elements to the game, some more gameplay elements, special cells, bombs, that sort of thing. That's the plan anyway. So this chapter generator, we can see basically each puzzle has a seed. So this is important for the long-term goal of the game, where puzzles are generated randomly, but they are deterministic. So given the same seed value, so if you unlock a particular combination of characters, that will allow you to generate certain subsets